Welcome to the Salt Circle Podcast. My smell is Hank. With me is the smell that is Ben.
I wasn't sure if I heard you right. And I didn't even catch it. Went by so fast. And I don't know. I thought maybe you were speaking like German or something, like mine. I don't know.
No. Smells.
Yeah.
This movie should be in smell-o-vision.
Oh.
Except then it would create an orgy.
For anyone listening, if you want the authentic experience for this podcast, murder some people and just give them a good old sniff.
Get up in there. Get up in there.
Yeah.
We're definitely full spoilers already.
Yeah,
so it's too late.
No, 100%.
But yeah.
What'd you think?
So it's both kind of bad, but also fun and weird. So
yeah,
it's a win for me.
Yeah,
mostly. My real problem with it is that the main character is so fucking unlikable. It's a problem.
Yeah,
and he's like no charisma at all.
Yeah,
it's just like this guy sucks.
Apparently, in the novel, he talks even less. I didn't know that was possible.
Yeah, the narrations thing, which feels like it's out of like a Disney nature documentary.
Yeah.
Like, you would just have to change everything to present tense,
and
it would really feel that way. It's so whimsical. But, like, there was all this narration made more sense to me. I was like, this was adapted from a novel. Yep, that checks out.
I felt it was, like, semi in the theme. Like, we've had different crafts in our films. Like, we had a dressmaker, we had a writer, now we got a perfume maker.
We got our baby that was sociopath. We got our baby who was gonna get thrown out with the rotten fish.
Yeah.
Fish heads.
I do like how just every time he fucking leaves somewhere, people just die.
Yeah.
Like, just everybody having instantaneously.
Yeah. I knew I was in for some shit when, like, at the beginning of the movie, and the movie, like, zooms in on that nose.
Yeah, just
like, get up in there. It's like, oh god. Oh no. It's like, look, film is a visual medium. But this movie is all about scent. So they just have to show fucking noses. And then it's weird. The way you're like, they try really hard to, like, get you in the mind space of, like, these are smells. It's just like, yeah, but I'm not smelling anything.
I'm a little stuffed up right now, actually.
And the idea that he's smelling this stuff is fucking ludicrous.
I know, it's fucking when he's on the mountaintop with the carriage and he's like, and it shows
her the girl's hat falling off. He's like, I smelled her hat falling off.
Yeah, and as if she's like 4 miles away.
It's fucking like just Daredevil for smell. Or he's tough.
I mean, I like the idea though, because, like, it's a lame superpower.
Yeah, no, he's a supervillain. It's like fucking M. Night Shyamalan just had a movie that was like a secret prequel to Unbreakable that was about a serial killer.
Great.
So it was like set up as like a movie about a serial killer, but actually he's a supervillain is like the twist. Reminded me of it. It just reminded me of that. It's like this guy is like actually just super villain.
He
Like,
dodged
just has
that
superpowers. He's a very lame superpower.
You can dodge apples though, and know when people are done banging.
The weird, I mean, it also is weird to me that he wouldn't be upset by bad smells. Like, that's fine.
Well, he's a connoisseur.
But like,
There are no good and bad smells. There's just smells.
dude, how do you smell a girl through a fucking horse? Horse stink. They're smelly beasts.
No, I hear you on that one.
Just like, no.
I don't know.
This girl though.
Yeah,
This is the
no,
most
like
amazing
how
smell.
okay. I mean, as they established in the beginning of the film, how like it's whatever century and everything smells like shit. How would you be able
Yeah.
to smell anything, straight up, aside from shit in the streets and general sewage smell?
Fish.
Yeah, it's like a mixture of urban city smell, but a million times stronger, combined with fish, combined with sewage, and literal shit, and just body odor, all mingled
Look,
together.
just doesn't pass the smell test.
Yeah,
It's dumb. I think it's dumb.
oh no, 100%.
Which is not it's not necessarily a problem. It's a problem I have with this as a story. Like, this seems like a dumb book. They
yeah.
adapted.
I briefly debated like, is this something I should read? And they're like, nah, no,
It's not even like that old. It's from fucking 85.
Yeah.
It's like, why though? But okay.
Yeah.
I will say, I have seen a movie from this director that I really liked.
What's that?
That's Cloud Atlas, which he co-directed with the Wachowskis.
Okay.
That
Never-
movie also has cannibalism in it.
Great. Yeah, I mean, I can't think of a better ending. Like,
No. It
I
was
mean,
a bad story.
and I mean, like,
Given what had already happened, it
I
was
mean,
a good
okay,
ending.
yeah, but I mean, I think that's the only ending. Like, he peaked. What are you gonna
Did
do
peak.
after that?
Like, I don't
I
know
mean-
why you keep going.
I mean, granted, there's like,
I mean, you have to keep going because you're basically making a nature documentary about a sociopath, so you have to get to his death.
yeah,
You can't just like have the story end because there isn't really a story. It's just like, yeah, this dude was shitty and he lived, and he did this stuff. This is the stuff he did. Although we'll get into some of my problems with even the way they do that. So what he's after is like, it's like he's after immortality, but he's just after a smell at first. It seems like. It's
Yeah.
like, oh no, I liked this girl, but I was creepy and I murdered her because I'm a monster who doesn't understand humanity.
yeah. He's
And,
basically an animal. Like,
Yeah.
because the first one
He was never
first one-
shown any human kindness, so he doesn't know any.
or like anything human at all. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
He was unloved.
granted,
And they give an explanation for that later why, but
that first death was an accident, but like, you know, you'd think after she went silent and stopped kicking, and also because
Yeah.
you were holding onto her throat for like,
he didn't mean to
5
kill
minutes.
her, but he did creep up on her, and then when she screamed, he strangled her until she died.
yeah,
And then it turned out when she died, she started to smell not as good. It was very
yeah,
bummer
he had
to him.
to. Well,
Though that's
you know,
not.
he had to.
First,
mop
he
the
had to
sweat
take her
up.
clothes off and get right up in there.
Yeah, and mop the sweat with his hands and just really
like-
go in.
Well, I've killed her. Better not waste this body.
I think there's a
Better make the
single-
most of it.
I think there's a single line that you could put somewhere in this movie that would take it to like new levels of amazingness. Like, it would turn it into an A+ film. Is if they had a second scene, like if they set it up in a way so that he killed Laura at the end, like this is his main chick, like this is the one, this is what he's after. If he had killed her and then got some time with the body and we get another scene like that, but at the end he goes, "Oh, fuck yeah." Like, that's just, that would, and the rest of the movie is exactly the same. I think that just takes it to a great place. Because he was thinking it.
Yeah. This movie is so ridiculous, and it does not seem to fully understand. It's way too earnest.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it doesn't. It was trying to be really, really serious.
Yeah, it doesn't.
And it's hard to do that when you're, like, shot zero.
You're real dumb.
Guy sniffing.
Well, your movie's real dumb.
See, I like the. Okay, let me backtrack. I was gonna say I like the I was gonna say I like the premise. I like the idea of like following a perfume maker, like when they're actually making the perfumes and stuff, and they're talking about like chords and whatever. I don't know how much of it is bullshit, but I like it. Like that concept, I like.
Well, I think the chords thing isn't even in the book.
Yeah, that's what on Wikipedia. That's what they said. But I still like it. Like it's a good, just the describing the process and like the rosebuds and all that shit. I think that's good.
It's really weird how into that they get, considering we've already seen this guy just kill a woman.
I mean, it was an accident, though.
Yeah.
Also,
but he wasn't like sorry either.
What did I've seen this movie twice now, and it only struck me now. Did I miss something? Why does he gotta kill him? Because eventually he's just using their hair. Why does he gotta kill him?
Because he's a fucking sociopath.
Okay. They just never explained why he's fucking murdering.
They don't cooperate.
I guess. They could have showed him like asking a chick for it first.
I mean,
or did he just?
Did. He hired the prostitute.
Yeah, but did he ever just ask for her hair, or did he just fuck her up and then was like, "Oh, hey, hair works," but he's not human enough to realize that you can get people's hair without killing them. He wasn't
after their hair until after he killed her.
Okay. So he was
just trying to like go over her arm.
Okay. So he just never connected the dots of getting hair without murdering someone. Okay. That makes sense.
No. He's just a sociopath.
Well,
just part of the problem with the movie. Part of my problem with the movie is just that it's not actually interesting being in his head. He's not interesting. He's just because he's like
I mean,
so this movie would I think been way better if it had been told from like a different perspective and just treated him like a slasher villain, which is what he is. And the movie almost gets there. But, like, we spend way too much time on his backstory, and it doesn't actually add anything to this story, because he sucks. It's not worth being in his head.
I mean, that's because there's nothing really, there's nothing there.
There's nothing there.
There's, like...
He's, like, he's boring. More than that, he's evil. He's boring.
Well, he's an animal, basically. He's just following instinct and not questioning anything. That's
why it's a nature documentary.
Yeah.
There's a part he kills a cat, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah, at that part where it's like, the fuck is wrong with you? And he's like, well, you told me to experiment. What?
It's like Shape of Water all over again for me.
Oh,
this character just kills a cat. Except I wasn't actually supposed to like this guy, so it was okay.
I mean, at least in the other one, like the cat was for
Shape of Water, then the lady fucks the thing that killed the cat.
Okay, but like, wasn't the cat for sustenance? Didn't he eat it?
He was eating it, yeah.
Yeah, like that's.
But that's the point was he was an animal.
I mean,
and this lady wanted to fuck him.
Okay, but like, it sounds like you're judging furries right now. Furries? Scalies? Scaly?
I'm judging people who are into bestiality, probably, is what I'm doing. People who are actually into animals.
Okay, well,
and like things that aren't sentient in the way humans are.
Jean-Baptiste wasn't into animals. He was just into smells. And animals
I mean, he's a
have
sociopath.
smells.
Again, it's different.
Yeah.
And it's not. Look,
Here's one
the best.
for you.
There's one movie where there was a cat death that was amazing, and it was the American, British, I don't remember, version of Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, where there was a swastika cat.
Okay.
Where they killed the cat and they carved it the shape of the swastika to taunt our hero, and that was incredible. That was just amazing visual storytelling.
Didn't a cat die in Harry Potter?
I don't fucking remember a cat dying in Harry Potter.
Doesn't Filch's cat?
His owl dies.
No, like Filch's cat gets like strung up by its neck or some bullshit.
That sounds like a thing that could happen. Maybe. There's dark shit in those stories.
Okay, but here's a hypothetical for you. We take
one of the characters' rats turned out to be a serial killer, like a murderer.
Yeah, that's
super evil.
Probably would have showed up on the Marauders map.
It's like maybe you should have gone. Hey, maybe rats don't actually live this long. What's going on?
I mean, yeah. There's too much. I can't do another episode. I could do another episode on Harry Potter, but I don't want it right now.
Okay. The other thing I just have to grill you about is there was early on when he's convincing the fucking Dustin Hoffman character that he can make perfumes, and Dustin Hoffman smells his original perfume, his good perfume.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, I kind of don't understand that part of the story because he doesn't care about... I thought he didn't care about good smells, really. How does he know how to make it, what it counts as a good smell?
Well, I think that's like...
But...
Okay, go on.
The thing that I really care about is just that when Dustin Hoffman smells that, he has like an orgasm and has this fantasy.
Yeah.
And I was like, Ben, though, I thought you didn't like Food Wars.
Don't even fucking start. Oh my god. Okay. So, for those not in the know, Dustin Hoffman takes a whiff of this perfume, and immediately, like, there's like, it's not a forest. It's like a garden. It's like this beautiful garden, and like this whole like that fantasy lighting. And there's like this chick that walks up and is like, "I love you," but like kisses him on the cheek or whatever, and just like, he's in bliss. He's in bliss. It's orgasmic. He did not get raped by peanut butter tentacles.
Well, because it wasn't a bad smell.
Okay, so in the good smell, she gets raped by peanut butter tentacles, but she likes it.
No, that was a bad smell.
Okay, but
it was bad. The point of getting assaulted was that the food was bad. It was gross. When they eat good things, they have orgasms.
I didn't watch far enough into the series to get a full-on feel for it, but I would wager that the only difference between good food and bad food reactions is the level of consent, and otherwise the imagery could just be replaced and the facial expressions changed. Yeah.
I mean, it's just orgasms.
Yeah. But it's anime, so...
So one time there's like... It's like people drowning in honey naked, or getting tickled everywhere by cherub versions of the main character. There's one where there's just like a gorilla in the room. I can't remember what happened with that flavor.
I regret... There's zero. I've gone past zero regret to like absolute zero regret for not continuing that series. Best part is that they're all in high school. Are they in high school? 7th grade, 8th grade? What are we? Is it even high school?
It's like...
Yeah, okay. That's your
school.
Your silence has...
No, it's
has
professional training.
Uh-huh.
It's professional training, so it's definitely high school.
Okay. If you say so. I mean, Kill la Kill involved a tyrannical dictator, but that was student council. So, I think.
I mean,
I
so
think
is
anything's fair
Food
game.
Wars is also a student council thing.
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, that's is that not who's in charge of Japan? The number one high school in the
Oh, yeah.
country.
No, definitely.
Their student council is in charge of the country.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
So one of my favorite parts, it was the joke I came up with in my head,
Oh boy.
which is so when he's like really asking Dustin Hoffman if the ability to preserve scent is that it's a power that can be taught. Can you teach me that? And in my head, Dustin Hoffman just goes, "Not from a Jedi."
Oh my god.
Uh,
Could I learn this power?
not from
Oh
a
my
Jedi.
See, that would actually be a more interesting story.
Pretty good. Again, one of my other problems while watching this movie, I don't care about Perfume. I just don't care about Perfume. And there's a lot of stuff about it's just about Perfume. I'm like, that's okay.
Oh, yeah, no, Perfume, it's funny because Perfume makes me super stuffed up. Like, someone rolls into the room and they're just fucking coated in it. I can tell because immediately my ability to breathe is like cut in half.
Yeah, nope. No good.
But
no good.
I still, like, I don't really care about dressmaking. Phantom Thread, like the dressmaking parts are still. I just like when they do like kind of a close up of like a craft. I'm into that.
Yeah, movies are good when they're about showing a process.
Yes. Yeah.
Like
that's exactly
that. Just
it. That's the
works for movies.
Yeah,
for sure.
I like looking at processes.
There was just yeah. Again, this movie is weird because like so much of it is expositional because it's based on a book and they didn't really figure out a way because it doesn't have the character it needs to like make the stuff come through. It's just here's this asshole and then here's this other stuff. It's like Perfume. I also like when he fails to make the sense to preserve the sense of like metal and shit in the distillery and then he just starts dying of fucking nothing.
You can't preserve those scents. Fucking passes out. Instantaneously just drops.
He's like welts on him. He's like all pale.
No.
He's just dying. I mean, it is 18th century France. I guess you just die of sadness. Like in every Victor Hugo novel.
I mean, I'm surprised he wasn't dying of sadness after meeting with that prostitute, though.
She wasn't into it.
I mean,
She was anti into it.
okay, but like he wasn't gonna kill her. I don't think.
I mean,
I don't think he was. I don't think he planned on it at that point. Because like
he planned on a lot.
Like that thing for the thing for scraping off the fat. Like that's an actual thing though. It's just for scraping off the oil or whatever.
Yeah.
How do you think
He's also an asshole who just murders people.
How do you think the Romans worked out? Bare ass naked, slathered in oil. They had to scrape the oil off afterwards.
Gross.
No, that's on
Look,
her.
he had no social skills. He had none. Nobody liked him. Nobody liked him because he had no smell.
Yeah. Yeah, no, if he had social skills, like none of this would have happened, probably. Like, okay, I'm in this guy's position, right? And I'm slathering chicken fat onto this hooker that I've purchased to make a perfume out of her scent. And she's like, she's giving me some shit as happens because it's a little
Probably
weird.
tell her that's what you're doing.
It's a little unorthodox. And I'm like, hey,
Hiring her for sex.
I'm trying to make a perfume and I'm trying to capture the essence, the scent of a woman. And, maybe she takes that well, maybe she doesn't, but like either way, she's not being hurt and she's getting paid, so it's fine. Then she sees the little hook thing on the floor and she's like, what the fuck is that? No, blah, blah, blah. And she freaks out. I'm like, hey, whoa, easy, calm down, calm down. I like slowly pick it up and I like demonstrate. It's like, you'd like demonstrate on your own arm, just like drag it across your arm and show like, yo, it doesn't cut. It's meant for like scraping. Like, you could have gotten the scent without killing her.
Yeah, he could, but he didn't because he's a sociopath.
Yeah, no, I was just, that's the. If he wasn't a sociopath, it could have been a nice interaction where everybody won. Well, not true. What if he stayed in the guy's house and then he fell into the water? Movie's over.
Exactly. If he had stayed there one more day, he'd just be dead.
Yeah.
Because that's how that movie went.
Good
Look,
times.
Prostitutes have reasons to be paranoid.
Oh, I mean, no question. Especially in that
Classical
day and age.
targets of serial killers.
Yeah. I mean, back in the day, too, like, it's, everything was worse. Like, fuck, those people that mugged the orphanage lady. They didn't even just, like, push her down and take her shit. They just slit her throat. Like,
yep.
Why shove when you can slit?
Yep.
Terrible. But, whatever works, I guess. I don't think they're going to fingerprint them.
It's true. And their fingerprints are covered in so much dirt, they probably wouldn't even leave them.
The music
was weird.
Yeah.
It just felt off tone a lot of the time.
Yes. It didn't progress well. Like when you're still, obviously after he kills the chick, like that's a bit of a shift. But even when he's just making the perfume for Dustin Hoffman, it's like really intense, but creepy intense. And I think it's too much at that point in the film. Like we're not quite there yet. But
I mean, part of the problem is we are there.
Good.
It's just the movie is like, yeah, but forget about that for a while.
Yeah. It was an accident. Come on.
I love when the fucking lady decides she doesn't want to fuck that dude and then gets stuck in that barn when she throws the ladder down.
Yeah, then he
just leaves, and then you see the ladder come up. It's just like it's a fucking ghost, and you're just like, oh, that's a murder ladder right there. That's what that is.
And then his head just pops up, and he doesn't say a fucking word. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a murder ladder. Let them die slowly, like you would treat a lady.
Yeah, no, that fucking line. It's a good line. Treat them delicately.
And then he put her in that fucking jar, that big fucking
tank,
the flower tank, yeah,
the
pickle jar.
Yeah, like a preservative.
Yeah. At that point, I'm like, okay, so what this movie needed to be was like a Hammer horror movie, and he's the Dr. Frankenstein.
Oh no!
Trying to create the perfect scent monster.
Scent monster? Oh
yeah, or whatever. I don't know. He is the monster though, the true monster.
Yeah. I mean that's.
We needed more Alan Rickman hunting him.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was pretty good. I forgot Alan Rickman was in this movie, to be honest. Then he showed up, and I'm like, hey, any Alan Rickman role that's not Snape, I'm in.
Wow.
Not as good as his role in Galaxy Quest. but a good role nonetheless.
Or Die Hard.
Or Die Hard.
Also, the rich people going into their hedge maze to get chased.
Yeah, what the fuck
It's just
is
like,
that about?
rich people just want to get murdered.
I don't... Dude, you're not getting me in that hedge. Let's play hide and seek. Great idea.
Let's all go.
I've had many fun times playing hide and go seek in my house. Let's go to the hedge maze. Ooh. I'm out.
Let's all get murdered.
Y'all want to die? Like, I'm not ready for that. That's just such a terrible idea.
I mean, also those are like drunk teens, so it pretty much is just an 80s slasher movie at that point. Like,
yeah,
that's what the movie should have been. Just like focus on these groups of ne'er-do-well rich kids,
teens.
and then getting murdered by this guy trying to make perfume. But they needed French Batman to save them.
I guess, like,
they were like, "There's a serial killer. Oh God, we're not in a universe with superheroes. We have nothing to do about it." Although when they start giving everyone guns, my favorite part in this entire movie is when they just show the scene of random people shooting each other.
Yeah.
Because they're on edge.
The dude's fucking servant wakes him up and just gets popped in the chest.
Bam.
That's a pretty good montage. And then eventually they just decide that it's a demon.
No, they have to excommunicate him.
I wish after each time they like, okay, we have curfew. Okay, we're doing this. They're like boarding up the windows. Everybody has guns. I wish we could have seen a little bit more of the process of him killing people, because like, apparently, I get that they're suggesting that like none of these measures were effective, but like, I want to see him jump through the hoops instead of just like, okay, he's a god.
That's what's super frustrating. It's like we spend all this time in his head, but then when it comes down to him doing the murders, we're not in his perspective when he's actually doing interesting stuff. It's super frustrating. Like, if that's why I really don't think it should have been from his perspective, because the movie, when it wants to show that stuff dramatically, it's not showing it from his perspective. He's just the faceless killer who like magically kills people. He's like fucking Jason Voorhees over here, just showing up and murdering people.
Well, he just bops him in the head. It's not like it's anything special.
It's true.
I also like the
wouldn't be nearly as good, but you could change that. You could have more interesting kills.
I also like the double down and like, someone confessed. Yeah, after hours of torture.
Like, you fucking idiot. Oh, I guess. Look, hey everybody, we caught the wrong guy. We're good. Everything's fine. We caught the wrong guy.
Yeah.
Whew.
So I'm like, I'm trying to think of like what perspective would be good. I guess like from maybe not. I mean, maybe one of the rich teens. Have someone like in the perfume class sort of thing, and this new guy shows up. He's pretty fucking weird, but he's so good at perfume.
You do it from Laura's perspective. This is the classic. I mean, it's a classic slasher film structure. I mean, or you could do it more like Psycho, even, and just start it about this character, and then they get murdered, and then
okay, hear me out.
Stuff changes
from Alan Rickman's perspective, with him also as the narrator in his own head.
Yeah, like you could as like a more of like a person who's investigating this and trying to figure out and stop him or whatever, like more of a murder mystery kind of thing. Also could have worked. But that's not what this story was. This was a weird nature documentary about a sociopath.
Yeah,
which is a weird movie to make.
They were doing stuff.
No, it was interesting. It was certainly different.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? I've actually, so I guess Anya watched it once and she like hated it.
Like, yeah, that makes sense.
Like not even because like, oh, it's a bad film, but like she thinks it's too creepy. And I'm like,
I mean, The main character certainly
Yes.
is. He's super creepy and unlikable.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't.
You're also not, a woman who could get
I
murdered by a guy
suppose.
like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ugh.
Fuck. I missed the. Damn it! I missed the very obvious jab there. When she said it was creepy, I should have pressed, and then she would have been like, that perspective, like, well, you're not a girl who could get murdered. I'm like, come on, Anya, he wouldn't murder you.
Wow. That's just rude right there.
Oh, we have fun though. It's fine.
Also, this movie is fucking long.
Yeah, the 2 hours. I had forgotten about that.
It
and I
was like he was about to get sent to. We'd finally caught back up to the start of the film. I'm like, how are there 30 minutes left? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Man.
I will say, and it's not the worst case of this I've had. I had a slightly rose tinted lenses on this one. Like, I definitely remember enjoying it more the first time around.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many years ago that was. This is a while ago now, but definitely did not hold up quite as well.
That makes sense. I mean, mostly what it has going for it is that it's fucking weird.
Yeah.
and different. It's not like particularly good.
I mean,
It just has the problem of this whole this void of charisma at the center of it.
Yeah. And see, that's
it's like weird and interestingly directed, and it also just seems like a bad book.
It's weird and interestingly directed, but so is adaptation and also Phantom Thread. Those are
good movies.
Those are good films. So it's like, I think maybe that also didn't help. Like, after seeing those, I'm like, oh, this is like that same sort of feeling, but it's good. There's something there.
Yeah. Yeah. There just isn't enough. There isn't more to it than it's just fucking weird, really.
The Sausage Fest ending couldn't save it. Sausage Party? Sausage Fest.
It's not
Sausage Party.
I mean, it's not as good as the orgy in Sausage Party.
No. Definitely not. But
so it's not the best orgy at the end of a movie I've seen.
Oh, man.
Also, it's fucking ridiculous to me that he was tortured that much and still had his vial of perfume on him.
Yeah, I thought they explained that more. And I was actually wondering how he kept it, because I couldn't remember exactly. I'm like, does he shove it up his ass? Like, I honestly can't recall.
No, he just has
it. Just there.
Well, also the
probably just shoved it in
the
his
12-cent thing.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't make any sense in the movie, and it's original to the movie. It's not in the book, because part of the point of the way they talk about it is like, this is the early set, and then this is the middle set, and this is the later set. But it's all people. It's all people scent. You're supposed to have different things mixed in. It's not just all the same.
They're different people, though.
The whole in the book, he's killing other women just to practice, and only Laura's scent is the one that matters.
Okay.
In this one, it's like a weird hybrid of like, no, I get all these different girls' scents, and we just add them up, and they like multiply into superpowers.
If it was more. They could have fixed that in a different version of this film where it's good. Better. They could have had him, writing down, like, maybe crossing out a little journal, like trying to figure out what girls are supposed to be in what place in the perfume. Like, that's all it needs, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, Fucking gets a whiff of like the milkmaid, and he's like, like a second position base, and he has to has to get some more sense under his nose. Walks by her again. He's like, nah, you're like third base. Third base.
Yeah. It also, like, it doesn't fit with the legend of the legendary smell where it was like the one last ingredient that was secret or whatever.
So
like there could have been a version of this movie where he's like trying to figure out the right scent, trying to figure out, and then he realizes he has to kill a person for it. Like that's a movie structure of like, oh, I realize I have to murder people.
Well, actually,
this is like all murder all the time.
So
murder
they
is
have
the solution to everything.
They have that they have the thing with like Egypt where it's like they open the bottle and whatever. I mean, the guy says it's a legend, which is fair. But if we take that to be any amount of true in accordance with this film, did the dude kill that many people? Can't be, because it said that all 12 things had been identified, but not the 13th scent.
Yep.
So maybe he only needed to kill one girl the whole time, and then just put some rosemary and orange blossoms in the bottle.
Yeah, man, that's all I'm saying. Total overkill.
Actually, there is a perfume-based murder story that I'd be into. Guy like hunting around for this ancient Egyptian legendary perfume, realizes he has to kill a girl. Ethical quandary about whether he should do it or not with his morals, then does it, then makes a perfume. I'd be into that. That is in fact a better version of what this could be.
See, that's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is there are other directions you could go with this, and I think most of them are better. I don't know why this story went this way.
Yeah,
it's weird to me. Also, I was looking up reviews, and one of the reviews had this great line.
Oh boy.
Smell it with your eyes.
Oh no. Smell it with your eyes. Oh boy.
Smell it with your eyes. Roger Ebert loved this movie, by the way. He thought it was the most underrated movie of the year. Which makes sense to me. He liked movies that made him think about stuff and that were weird and different. Yeah, and then he becomes Jesus because of smell.
I mean,
He becomes the Messiah.
Smell Saya.
The Smell Saya. He becomes the Smell Saya. Even Alan Rickman, once he gets close, is defeated by it.
Forgive me, my son.
But then everyone has an orgy and they don't fuck him because he sucks. Even under the throes of...
You think that the any of them are worthy of the Smell Saya? I don't fucking think so.
It's true.
All those filthy, smelly bastards. He is scentless. He doesn't have a smell. It's canon.
It's true. He smelled himself. He tried to smell himself.
I was really
smelled nothing.
So I don't get that.
That idea is
line.
also fucking ludicrous.
I don't mind that idea. I mind that idea because they introduce it right after he spent enough time in a cave by himself to grow a beard, and it says that he was alone with himself. What the fuck was he smelling then?
All this other stuff. Sausages.
His sausages.
Apparently in the book he spends even more time in that cave.
That sounds right.
Yeah, the idea of a human being who didn't have a scent is dumb. Not how physically human beings work, but whatever. Again, this movie's ludicrous. It's fine.
I mean, that's the least dumb thing it does, maybe. Second worst.
No. Because there are parts that are just like, this could be in a normal movie, too.
I guess. I mean, the bit where he smells the apple coming, or is like whiffing for miles and miles around on the hillside. Those might be top two. Yeah, that dramatic like, just really.
Are you sure it wasn't south? No, they went north. Are you sure it wasn't south? I'm going south. Because he can smell north. It. No. It was a trap. He's the nose, man.
I mean, here's one for you. Which one, assuming that they're real people, like, who has a better sense of smell, him or Gary Oak? I'll smell you later, Gramps.
No, he doesn't.
I don't know.
He doesn't really smell like people later, though.
He probably could, though.
No.
You know he's the type of jackass who, like, dude knocks on the door and he's like, hey, name, come on in. Oh, that would... Okay, I got there. If he was a good serial killer, or if this was like a film with a good serial killer, they could have found, like... I was going to say a book of, like, names with just, like, smell descriptions. But they did say early on that, like, you couldn't describe the smells with words.
Yeah. It's true. He wasn't a poet.
Yeah. Okay.
They should have sent a poet.
So they have the book with names and smells next to them, but instead of anything, like, actually descriptive, it just says, like, shit. just varying degrees
Everything
of, like,
smell. It's just like, look, there's a 10-point scale about how much shit things smell like, and it's all tense.
It's
everything's a 10.
Everything's a 10. God, yeah. And they do say that line right as the horse is walking by too.
Yep.
That's a smell. And see, yeah, I'm with you there. I can't abide the smell of farm. I don't.
It's just powerful.
Yeah, no, it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming.
Smells.
I would take, like, a freshly manured field over your average, like, barn with livestock. Probably. Yeah. I'm gonna stick to that.
That's tough, but I get you.
I mean, I discovered that when here's a smell story for you. So
Nice.
went to New York City for, like, a senior, like, the band and choir seniors in high school can raise money to go to Chicago or raise money to go to New York City. Like, the class has to step up if they want to go to New York. So my class was like, yo, we're going to New York. Like, we got to do this. And we get to New York City. Fun time. Lots of stuff to do in New York. From a kind of country boy perspective, holy fuck did it smell. Like, and I'm sure if someone who spent their whole life in big cities went to central fucking Wisconsin, I'm sure they would say the same. They'd say it smelled like cow shit. And that, that's a fairly accurate thing to say. But I'm like, wow, that's a lot of asphalt and cigarettes and piss? Is that what this is?
Yes. That's the strong urine scent that comes with cities.
And I'm like, this is not nice. We get out, so we spend like a week there, week and a bit or whatever.
Look, you can also find the smell of horseshit in New York. That's not hard either.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't doubt it. I mean, I'm sure if you go up and ask a guy, like, yo, you got any of that horseshit smell? Like, he'll be able to hook a scent connoisseur up.
Central Park is full of horses because of
touristy
stuff.
Yeah.
Also, the cops ride horses.
Yep. So, I don't know. But we got back home. I step off the bus and it's like the smell of manure. I'm like, this is actually fresh air to me now. Like, this is okay. And it was great because Amsterdam was the exact same way, except instead of cigarette smoke, it just smelled like weed. Everything else identical because they also had like cops on horses and stuff. Like it's the same.
Yeah.
That same like nice profile. But yeah, that was my big thing.
Yeah, the big thing's like walking around on garbage night. You get a whiff. You walk down the wrong street and there's wind. Like, whoa.
Oh
Oof.
yeah. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, I had to.
Yeah.
The other day, I what was it? I must have timed my bike to class wrong because I was following the garbage truck. that was I
Sounds like fun.
I took a turn and took a slightly longer way to school because
I can't imagine why.
I didn't expect it to be that bad. I don't know why. Like if I'm like if it's sitting there, sure, but I don't know. I guess
I mean, by the ideas of this movie, if you pour all the bad smells together, then it creates the godlike bad smell, right? You just mix them together, and then
I just gotta
increases
boil.
in power.
I gotta boil the garbage to distill its essence.
Essence.
Yeah, man. We also did the it was 100% touristy things in New York, and that was actually we did like a guided bit, and they took us to Central Park for a while, and I get why people either in the city or people from other places like want to see Central Park, or like I don't know, especially if you're into like films and TV like hardcore and you want to like, yo, I'm in Central Park, and then recreate like, I don't know, 45 million scenes. But he's like talking it up and stuff and everything, and I just wasn't sure why that tour specifically was planned, because like one of the chaperones gave the excuse of like, well, we thought you guys would want to see like, the park area, trees, whatever. I'm like, aren't you also from Wisconsin though? Like, it's nice. It's a very nice park, but like, this is our backyard though. I don't want to see this. I wanted to see this city. They have buildings here. We don't have those back home. Guys got stuff.
Yeah. Yo, it's a big park in the middle of a city. But like,
it's a nice park. It's a good park.
It's a very large park.
Yeah, actually I did not realize like how big. You see aerial shots or you see it in movies or whatever, and I never realized.
It's very large.
You did get away from that city smell, more or less, ish.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then they eat him.
Yeah. Yeah. Banger of an ending.
He just like, fuck me up, fam. And they eat him.
Yeah.
Because it was an act of love. They just had to.
I mean, it said they felt a virginal glow.
Yes. Their virginal cannibalism. They're no longer cannibalism virgins.
People just walking away, like waking up the next morning, like, I feel so pure.
He did his clothes too.
No, his clothes were there.
Okay.
No bones though. They very specific. There was very specifically nothing left of his body, and I was wondering about that. I was like, did they
eat all his teeth?
Did they like swallow the bones or like take them?
He cracked those open, man. They're full of good marrow.
Yeah, see, like that's what I was thinking. I'm like, I know there's marrow and stuff, but aren't bones like kind of like there's crunchy, but that seems a little bit much.
It's
And
really
like the
the teeth and
skull.
like cartilage stuff, which just doesn't break down ever. That was like,
I mean, you're swallowing it whole.
yeah.
Like, ugh. Yeah, I don't, I don't like this discussion. I don't want to think about swallowing the teeth of a freshly eaten person. Actually,
Yeah.
the eating of flesh is much more of a palatable discussion for me than like swallowing the teeth afterwards. I don't like that. I do not like that at all.
Yeah.
That's giving me an uncomfortable feeling in like my throat. I just
Yeah. Honestly, after the orgy though, it's like, why is this movie like? Okay, they're eating him, but like,
Yeah, I 100% forgot about that bit. I thought he just
how do you
disappeared.
how do you keep going, movie? We'll have an orgy, and then we'll have him get eaten by people in this other separate scene because this movie just keeps going.
I
Yeah.
mean and even just having him go back like is so fucking weird. I think if they were gonna do that, it would have made more sense for him to just pour it on himself at the orgy, and then it turns into like a cannibalism orgy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
as
you
soon
could
as the
combine
guy
those
says,
scenes pretty easily.
as soon as the guy
I'm
says,
not
"I
I'm not
forgive
really
you, my
interested in
son."
his emotional arc of returning to the place where it began or
Well,
whatever.
because there's no emotions. There
Yep.
is no emotional arc. It's just him
Yep,
going
no.
back. But I mean, yeah,
He's just like, "Oh, this won't make people love me." Sad face.
yeah. I guess like I don't know. Maybe that's the point. Maybe we're supposed to view him as an animal, given like a salmon returning to its stream or whatever
It also
bullshit
didn't teach
analogy.
him how to love. He never learned how to love. He never loved anyone.
I mean, we'll never fucking know now. How many people were there on the world in the world at the time? At least several hundred million or whatever, if not a billion already. A lot. There were other smells, dude.
You know, he wasn't very curious about finding other smells.
No.
He found that one smell he liked, and he was like, "That's the smell." Women.
Yeah, just
That's the
women.
smell.
Not even necessarily like apparently he found the best smelling woman, but again, there's a lot of women.
I know. He didn't test the waters.
No,
He didn't go
no,
travel.
not even a little bit.
Dustin Hoffman told him this one place, this is the smell place. And he's like, okay, that's the smell place.
Oh, oh my god. Yeah. She was born in the smell place, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really want to see him trying to.
Important part was that her dad, Alan Rickman, knew she was the hottest girl around.
Yeah.
He knew that there was no...
Of course he's going to want you for his collection.
Have you seen those other bitches? They ain't got shit on you.
I mean, I want to hear Jean-Baptiste like try to like let's pretend that he does have emotions and he's trying to hit on a woman, but he's still super into smells and everything. Of course there are no bad smells or good smells though, so he's just like, "Oh my god, you smell." And that's it. That's the compliment. You smell.
You
Just
smell.
you have a scent.
You have a scent you're capable of, which apparently is tied to all human emotion. And affection is tied to smell.
You know, did that movie ever once reference how like smell is the most memory-inducing sense? I don't think it did.
No.
Yeah, they dropped the fucking ball on that one. Hasn't that knowledge been around like that? If it's not true, hasn't that saying been around for ages? I feel like that's not recent knowledge. This movie is 2006.
Maybe it was invented in 1990. I don't know. Fucking know.
I mean,
Oh, this movie was made in 2006, so that's
yeah,
not actually
that's
an excuse
yeah.
anymore.
I'm saying like it's probably recent enough. Oh, here's one. This is topical. This is topical. I get into this with Anya now and again. And anyone listening, please message me somewhere. Can you remember smells? Can you right now? Can you like think of a smell? And obviously, it's not just gonna fill your nose, but can you remember what a smell smells like? Can you get to that point? No. See, I can. I think. Anya says it's impossible and says she can't, but I swear to God, like, I think I can.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's impossible. I just don't think I do.
That's fair.
Sitting right here,
I just
having
want
tried for like 30 seconds or whatever.
Yeah.
Nope.
And see, like, a lot
It's
of the
not
times...
scientific proof, but it's my anecdotal truths at the moment.
Yeah.
For myself.
I don't know.
Because I've had smells that have been like really affected me, and I was thinking about those. I'm like, yeah, I don't really remember what those smells.
See, like I'm not gonna like there's intricate shit that I can't, whatever.
I can like kind of, I guess I could kind of put in my head like how horse shit smells because I've smelled that so many times, whatever.
Yeah, and see, like I'm thinking,
but I can't like smell it here. It's like I'm like that smell evoked certain emotions in me, I guess, or something.
Yeah, it's not like you're literally smelling it again.
Yeah.
But I can still remember how like things smell, I guess. I don't know.
I feel more like I'm remembering having smelled things rather than remembering the smell itself.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's what it is, but
or maybe you're remembering it working.
Maybe I have
different.
Maybe I have a really fucking garbage superpower.
Yeah, man.
I don't have super smell. I just can remember smells. You mean like you can like remember any smell? No, like anything I have smelled, I can get a vague impression of it in my head. Sign me up for the Avengers.
Yeah, man. You could be a mutant. There are plenty of mutants that like.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's probably a lot of like fucking garbage tiered mutants.
Yes. Except when they all died or whatever, but that happens sometimes.
I mean, yeah. Gotta keep.
Look, just be glad you're not Face, because he doesn't have a face.
That's it.
I think he shoots laser beams out of like this thing where his face is. I don't remember what his powers are. But his name is Face because he doesn't have a face.
Yeah, that's about right.
You could just have a weird tongue. That would be a bummer.
I mean, I also have a weird tongue. Fun fact. Not that it does anything weird, it just looks weird. Like, it looks like there's a big gash going down the middle of it, but there's not.
Yeah.
I've
Face
scared...
just fires bursts of energy from his, like...
His face?
His not
face. Area. His not face. Yeah. There it is. Well...
Here's a picture of Face.
Oh, boy.
For you and not the listeners.
I don't... All right, so
there's Face.
I'll describe it. I'll do a little description. So I'm disappointed.
He's got a mox on his face.
Yeah, if anyone's ever seen like a Mox Ruby, it's that but orange and just attached to his head. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed by this. I was hoping that he just had like a blank nothingness where his face would be.
No,
just
that's the
skin.
question. That's
Right.
a DC character.
Of course it fucking is. Yeah, okay, so that guy just like do we have proof that he doesn't have a face? Or is he always wearing that thing?
I mean, I think it's just constantly shooting energy out of his face, like Cyclops' eyes, I think is the idea.
Well, you know.
Here's a picture of the question.
Oh.
Nope. It keeps giving me links that are too long for Discord.
Wow.
I give up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, anyway. It seems like
Also, the question does have it just puts on like a thing over his face.
Oh, that doesn't count. Get out of here. Get out of here, fucking has a face bullshit. I want someone without a face.
I mean, memory lapse or whatever.
Or the thing from Last Airbender. He just steals faces.
Yeah, that's true.
We got that monkey that didn't have a face. There's something without a face. Yeah.
That's true.
We
His
got
face
there.
was stolen. His face was stolen.
We shouldn't have showed emotion, which apparently he had. Oh man, they could have sent Jean-Baptiste to talk to the dude. No problem. You can't show any emotion when you talk to him. Show any what? Everybody wins.
Emotion. No, he felt sadness.
Did he?
Like when he was dying of sadness.
Did he actually feel it though, or was his body just doing it?
He passed out.
I guess. I mean, you know, seems like a podcast.
That seems like a podcast on a movie called Perfume.
About smell.
The story of a murderer. Should have been in Smell-O-Vision.
I don't
Salt Circle
want it.
Podcast at gmail.com. Smell-O-Vision is always bad. SoundCloud.com/Salt Circle. Or Twitter at Salt Circle Pod. iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcast, Salt Circle Podcast. And I'm on Twitter at Comic Panels.
And I'm on Twitter at bean_LP.
If this movie had been in 4DX, every time he got waterboarded, you could have gotten spurted with water yourself. Or like if someone drowns and you get spurted with water.
I mean, they could have thrown flowers at you.
And then there's like smoke. And they would release scents into the theater.
Yeah.
And there's like big wind turbines and your seat is constantly shaking. And there's air blowing on the back of your neck. You want to fucking kill someone. Fucking hate 4DX so much.
They hire people to walk into the theater and get behind you and go.
That's some like,
It's like
I forget if
5D.
it's 50s or 60s, like old school haunted house.
Yeah.
Going all the way. They just hang a skeleton from the rafters and lower it into your face. Go, boo! It's a movie! It's interactive.